yard with windows posted. I can hear it from my bed, and you can hear it, you know the sound when it hits the floor.
Oh,
Well, guys, it is 10 a.m., so we are going to get started. So we're on time and are very efficient with your time and with Josh's time. Actually, I'm going to get the floor to Josh first this morning. So this is Josh Waggoner. He is with DR Horton Homes. You're at this neighborhood, the Crowley neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Did I hit this right?
Yep.
Okay.
You did.
So there's his cell phone number, 214-773-5336. And this will all be linked up on Slack this afternoon and follow up, so you can do the floor plan book and look at all the things. But I'm going to turn it over to Josh right now. Thank you, Josh, for being here. Thank you for breakfast.
Me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I'm going to get coffee while you're talking.
Of course.
At this point, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you. So
Okay.
you,
So I'm going to turn my microphone on.
no, actually, you'll still use
You'll still do it. Okay.
You should be able to use the one that's over here.
Okay.
Let me get up here and turn off me, stop presenting, and then you click present.
Okay, click. And let's flip into the new tab.
There you go.
Don't have a pop-up yet. Pop-up blocker.
There it is. You're on.
Doing it? Yes. All right. How's everyone doing today? Not tomorrow, not yesterday, today. Okay, cool. I'm Josh Waggoner, and I normally have a lot more energy in the morning than the evenings, so you're welcome. Hopefully this wakes you up, but you'll be having to wake me up after about 6 p.m. All right, so I work for DR Horton, publicly traded. They've got a lot of rules on how I can advertise and how I can't. So I decided, forget all the rules, let me make my own brand so I can advertise how I want and not have to worry about getting fired on accident. So I created RE3, real estate in 3 minutes, and that's my brand online. So if you see RE3, that's me, that means Horton, and that's just my way of getting around it. I created a brand that is all about helping agents grow their legacy using real estate. That's my main goal. And the cool thing is that in my division, we have about 30 different communities right now, and I have the privilege and the power to sell them all of them.
At different stages?
Yes.
Okay.
They start at stage 6,
Okay.
and then it goes to stage 13 that I'm released to sell. In my own community, I can sell from stage 0 to 13. The stages of construction are different for every company, but we have 13 stages. So stage 6 is where we have the frames up, and we're putting the things in the walls, like the plumbing and electrical. They don't necessarily have to have the fit. The cool thing is I found that in real estate, it's all about connections, obviously. It's all about relationships. And I just have this power and this privilege of being able to connect with a ton of agents. Patty Smith was actually one of the first agents I connected with when I got in this industry. And it's been like 7 years. Started selling new. I flipped homes for 3 years prior to that. So I've been in the industry about 10, 11 years. So thank you, Patty. Shout out to her for inviting me over. Thanks to Brian for saying yes. And thanks to y'all for being here. The goal of this presentation is to give you tools to help you grow your business faster. That is my ultimate goal. And so I packaged them into a website, re3live.com. It is exclusive to agents I invite. It is invite only, and it is a secret. My company does not know what I'm doing behind doors. They are access only to username and passwords that I've granted. So these apps that you're looking at, you can see them, but you won't be able to click on them and get in them unless I grant you permission. So I would love to keep this a secret between only you and your buyers, because you're supposed to use these tools to help you grow your legacy. So that means working with your buyers with the tools. But then don't tell other agents unless you know that they don't already have a go-to app. Because I'm not the only one that has the privilege to sell everywhere. But if all of my reps had this secret, then you probably wouldn't get access. I'd shut it down. So let's just keep it a secret and let's just enjoy it ourselves, shall we?
I like secrets.
I like secrets
I
too.
love secrets.
And I love agents. I could not do what y'all do. I don't know how. I don't have a social life. I just work. So I don't have all these people bringing me people except agents. So I don't know how y'all do it. I literally could not do it. And so I'm so grateful. And I know that it takes a while to build trust. But there's oftentimes that my agents, build that trust. They register their buyer. They don't even show up because they're this, that, and the other busy at this time. I go and close the deal down. They're on the front page. We all get paid. They're updated every week. Everyone is happy. And I just need y'all there for that moment of truth where the buyer's like, is this a good idea? I just need you to say yes. Just say yes. This is good. Only if it is. I mean, you're a client too. But that's that moment. We're going to partner together and make lots of money. So without any further ado, I'm going to get into the first tool that launched the success of the brand, the map app. First question in real estate is where. Second question is how much. They're kind of the same question. So I got really tired of agents asking me when I called them, like I called Patty when I moved to D.R. Horton. I was like, I've got all this inventory. She's like, well, what do you got? I'm like, I have everything. I have 700 homes. What do you need? And it was really difficult to filter it through the 7,000 cells in the Excel file that our system spits out. I said, oh, no. My OCD brain is freaking out right now. I can't even interpret this in my work here. So let's put this in a visual, shall we? So I created a map, and basically every pin drop represents a community of homes. I can sell all of these homes. So if they're on the map app, I'm your guy. So the first question is where. So you can zoom in. I work at my office is at the Crowley location. It's technically a Fort Worth city limit. So we've got a really cool hat program where we can get some, it's like a buyer's assistance program from the city of Fort Worth. You all know about it. It works in my community. When you click here, it tells you the name of the community and the price range. So now you know where and you know how much. And if that doesn't fit, you can just keep happily clicking to other places until you find a lower price. We tracking so far?
Yeah.
Very easy. Our website has something similar. It's not nearly as robust, and it doesn't show you all the inventory. The website only shows what's on the website. It's like maybe 10%, maybe. I'm giving you access to everything.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're like, oh, I like this one, or let's go back to mine. I like, try to click the green. Green represents the Express brand, which is the lowest level of finish out in Horton. Blue would represent any of the other 2 to 7 levels. So if you're like, hey, Sunny Creek, I'm going to click here. You're now out of the tab, which I don't know if it's going to share it. Yes, it did. And then you literally have Sunny Creek only's inventory because you don't care about all the others, like the sheets that I was giving everybody. You don't need to know what's in Aubrey, well, I don't sell in Aubrey, but Auburn Terrace. I love how it's taking forever to load. My apologies. All right, so this is the benefit of the map app. You literally can quickly narrow it down to what you need and have only what you need in front of you. Sorted least to greatest in price. Green cells are good to go in a month or sooner, so they're your fast close in.
Okay.
If you're in a blue or a white cell, it's going to be at least 2 months. Maximum 3, normally 2. I've also got the tax rate shown up here, the HOA, what series it is, and the earnest money. You need all this information to look competent, which you are, but I just find that with new construction, it's really easy to not look competent if you're not given the information. So now you are, you're welcome. And then I also have the model address because you know that's complicated too.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
Oh, I
with
like
map
that you
app?
have the model.
Yeah, so
the
if we're in a
model
new
app.
community and you're like,
That's awesome.
everything is staged like nothing. Oh, but there's models there. Cool. We're gonna at least see a Kingston today.
Yeah.
It's helpful to know. All right, and I do want you sharing these with your buyers. Absolutely. My name's on it, my number's on it, so obviously with your trust level too. But this is absolutely something you can utilize. Just zip it over. Hey, I've got a guy. Here's what they got available right now. In that
How often is this updated?
every day. We updated this
Okay.
one this morning at 7:57.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then at any point, obviously, between when it's printed, someone could sell a home.
Right.
We've got 3.99% on select communities in all of our communities, or select homes in all of our communities, and 3.99 in 3 all communities. I think everything had them. And Center Creek's one of them, 3.99. Okay, and then you also may be like, I have no idea what a Kingston floor plan is. Well, I'm so glad you don't know because now you do.
This is fantastic, Rob.
This is.
Yeah.
I can also-
Stop.
I know.
I love it.
I got bored and I created more. So every community has different elevation options. And so if you just are looking at any Kingston like flyer, it may not have the right elevation for that community in that city's space. So I've got it all updated there for you. Okay, so I know that y'all's time is super important. The next question, which is really part of the first question, is the how much. You need to know the incentives. And I'm not necessarily tired of answering questions when someone asks. It's just I have them posted now, so you can easily just grab it at 2 in the morning because I'm not going to answer a question at that rate. So I know you get a Clarissa too.
Yeah.
So you just click incentives, and I've got everything. So in these 3 communities, I got 3.99. You can click it, and there's the flyer. And then you also get up to 10K in closing costs using DHI mortgage. We're doing free blinds and garage and free title. That's for these 3 communities. Crescent has its own like interest rate with major price reductions and still the 10K in closing blinds and garage door. All the other communities get the 10K plus 10K flex, which helps them buy their rate down to like a 4.5. Notice the fine print on all of these. There's a bunch of fine print down here. There's less on this one because guess what? 3.99 doesn't cost them anything. 640 and better credit scores, they're in. That's on FHA and VA only. If it says FHA, it follows all government loans. So if it's a VA, they're still getting FHA rates. If it's a USDA community, which we have very little of those, but very few of those, it'll still follow that flyer. Right now, we have select homes with 3.99, so not just everything in one community like the 3 communities I mentioned. Random communities have some homes that have been on the market a little longer. They slap specific addresses in a coordination with the 3.99, and you've got the list of those here. So you are empowered to do great damage in a good way. Any questions so far about how to use the map app to your advantage?
I just have one question.
Yes.
Can you cross-sell on the entire West Division?
Yes.
Okay.
The West Division is
Okay.
in this map.
Okay.
So if it's on the map, I can sell it. If it's not on the map, I can't sell it yet or
Yes.
at all. Because if it's on the east side, that's like crossing over 35 east, like right here, I can sell that. But you go to Lancaster, I don't even know what's over there. I got on that.
We don't even-
I don't want to sound like, don't worry, I'm really not interested.
I got you.
Patty
Okay.
Smith raised her hand. Patty, hurry.
Yeah, so Josh and I have known each other for a really long time, and he spoils you on making it so easy. And then you go to the east side of the tracks and you're like, where's Josh? I don't know how to work. What do I do with my hands? And it's just be prepared when you get this level of service on the west side. You may want to stay on the west side.
Okay, thanks, Patty. I appreciate that. So it's a website. I call it an app because you can store a website on your phone as a link to an app link. So I want you to do that before we're done so that you don't walk away and be like, where's that thing? It'll be on your phone. But on the phone, oh, I love how it's all purple. Oh, there's green. Okay, I'm a little OCD about the marketing. I know the storytelling is y'all's thing too. These are buttons. So just like the old iPhone physical button brought you back to all your apps, that's like the home button. It always takes you back to the app screens. If you're wanting to do some agent training, that's a different button. I've got some training on how to use the apps. CalCat, this is game changer. I want you using this daily. I don't sell a home unless they've seen CalCat numbers, period, end of discussion. They have to see these numbers or they don't write a contract with me. You can use this for used, pre-owned, anything new. It does not matter. If it's in blue, you're going to change what is accurate to your situation. And then I want you to delete HOA. We're going to double this because it's pre-owned and we're at a 2.431. Let's say interest rates right now are at 6.2%. And then you're just you can literally change the down payment. It automatically starts with minimums. But you can make it 10, 20% because they're just seeing. They just want to see what it's like without PMI. But, let's compare. I'm going to do minimum if I do FHA. So now you've got a side-by-side comparison of all 3 loan types on your phone. You just have to know the correct data to put in on the blue cells. And if the sellers are giving concessions, then great. If they're not, delete it. We always assume that you're going to be, astute enough to negotiate a free title. We always give a free title. We can't change that on here. It's really marketing important, but it's a secret. But I want you using this because there's not a single calculator that you have right now guaranteed that's going to take out property tax based on the veteran's disability. That's something that I saw was missing in the market. And I also saw what was missing is that agents don't know how to quickly do this without calling their lender. I'm like, no, we're not showing a 2-story just because they got excited and it's $43,000 more than they're wanting to spend right now. Let's show them that it's going to be $400 a month more. Are we good with this payment? Okay, then let's stay here. Isn't this backyard beautiful?
Yeah.
We don't need to waste another hour of our life trying to show something until we see the numbers because they're trying to bump out of their budget. And you know how that happens.
Right.
What questions do y'all have so far?
Love it.
Okay. The last major one for, oh gosh, I don't know what it's doing. I guess it's on the machine screen.
It's coming through the Wi-Fi and
Okay.
it'll catch up in a minute.
No, we're good. Just know it looks beautiful on
Okay.
your phone. Okay. I need you on marketing. Y'all need your y'all are already marketing, but how about free content? So if you're advanced, you can edit your own reels. Here are literally links to free content that you can now broadcast. There are specific approved ways to broadcast them. Approved meaning I gave you permission, otherwise you don't do it. Email, text only. You cannot post this online because, again, other people can sell my community. But if you click interactive inventory, it's a bird's eye view of my community plat map with links to 4K videos of homes that are available for sale and many websites within each of them.
So if I have a client,
You can just
I
text
can
this to them.
text or email this.
Yeah, but if you post this online, I will come hunt you down. And you'll be
Got it.
avoided
Access
and
denied.
access denied because so you basically just click the floor plan and then you've got like literally a 4K video of that. So it's like home shopping on your phone. Wait for it to load. There's the phone. Okay. So now I got a 4K video of that home. Cool. I've got the pricing and I've even got a payment estimate request. Okay. And then if you want drone footage that pops on all social media, this is just dirt. It doesn't say Sunny Creek. Well, 2 of them do, but 5 of them don't. You can add those. I can put you in my reels that I create. If you just do a video of yourself from your home, I'll delete the background. I'll add you in. I'm all about not being online. I don't really want to. I'd rather you get the lead and you go wild with it and you bring it back to me if it fits. And if you do, you just click register buyer. And you can literally send them my way. This is an agreement between you and me. This has nothing to do with Horton because Horton says you have to, the buyer has to be on site. They have to fill out their card and put your name on it. But if I meet them and I know you sent them to me and I have timestamp proof, then I'm not gonna let them put anyone else or I walk away. That's just my commitment to y'all. Just because, and I put pineapples because you can be on a cruise while you're making that. All right, how to get registered. I think the best thing, maybe I can just put the link in the online thing and text that. You'll just go to onboarding. For those of y'all here, it's re3live.com on your phone. And then you scan this. You can scan this now or you can do it on your phone because there's a button. I need you saving 2 different cell phone numbers to your phone. And you save the contact that's there because one is color coordinated and named my name. The other is color coordinated and named text by RE3. That one I can text back and forth to on a specific app on my phone, but it's a broadcast mass texting. I'm about to send another text out to everyone. Patty will get it at 11 o'clock. re3live.com.
But we can scan this.
You can scan that and that'll save your my cell phone. If you have an iPhone, scroll up and click create new contact and then click done. Don't just click done. That won't save anything.
So you want to scanning both of those?
Both of them, please. So here's how you know to call me. If it says Josh Waggoner, that's Josh Waggoner. If it doesn't say Josh Waggoner, that's not me or my cell phone. If it says text by RE3, that's me sending it to everybody, and you can reply to it, that's fine, but don't call it, because I don't even know there's a missed call. It's just a texting line. That's why it says text in the contact. And that way you'll know who it is, because you saved it. And then once you're on the re3live.com website, you'll go to the onboarding, and then click sign up for free. And then I'll get all these pings to approve all y'all's membership.
Yeah, you will. RE3 Live.
re3live.com. I'm going to put it in the message. And if y'all don't know how to save on your phone a link, definitely text me because I literally have the RE3 main website on my phone as an app. It's just like a shortcut, but then I click it and it goes to the main website that has all the apps on it. So that way I don't have to think, I have access, I can click all the apps and then I'm boom, I'm in. I'm getting all these notifications. Let me approve everybody.
Wait,
Talk to me.
okay, I'm scanning the second one. I'm saving that and then.
Yes, and then go to re3live.com.
Is that in the contact?
Yeah, it is actually. So you can find Josh Waggoner.
So I'm going to the homepage, re3live.com.
Yeah, Safari or Chrome or whatever you use. Or you can go into contacts and find Josh Waggoner. I should have had a QR code here. I keep meaning to do that.
Did I just you hit log in?
Right there.
The onboarding, the green button.
Where am I going? Oh, thank you.
Of
Oh,
course.
thank you, problem.
No, you're good. And I'm going to hang out afterwards to make sure y'all got your phone
Sign
set
up
up. Onboarding, sign up now. Yes.
Look
Please.
at that, I did it.
I'm so proud of y'all. Look at you. All right. That's it. That's all I have. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. I love
This is
agents.
awesome.
And the stuff for, like incentives and things, that changes for investors.
Yes and no. Investors are capped at the 2% maximum for IPC limits on conventional loan
Yeah.
requirements. And then you don't get any bonus
Right.
if we're even offering one on any investor. We don't want to sell to investors. We allow it, but we don't
Right.
really want to. I think the main reason is that they just don't normally work. And they want to do no negotiation. They can't put a sign in the
Well,
there's all
yeah,
sorts of
we did,
rules.
I sold one last year and it went really
Mhm.
smoothly, but
Good.
I didn't realize that there were so many like hoops we had to jump through
So many.
until we were kind of already in it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, no,
so-
I tell you up front.
Okay, great.
I tell you up front. I got a copy and paste and I send it.
Okay,
So
perfect.
you don't get a bonus. They can't put a sign in the yard. They can absolutely rent it immediately on MLS or social or
Yeah.
whatever they want to do. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank y'all so much. I'm gonna hang out until y'all's meeting is done. So if y'all have questions at the end, if anyone else has questions, I'll be monitoring the chat as well. But I highly, highly, highly recommend you save the re3 or live.com as an app on your phone on your homepage. So it's like a widget. So if you don't know how to do that, just pull it up where you see all the apps inside the phone. And then at the bottom, there's a square with an arrow pointing up for like a forward button where you can send it to someone. But scroll up and click create home screen or add to home screen. I'm going to stop presenting so that Brian can take over.
Excellent. I'm gonna put your information back up there,
Thank you,
actually.
sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I'll get everyone approved once I can figure out the new app update. This has been fun.
Okay. I'm gonna go back over here and I'll start presenting. Go. Yay, okay. So everybody say thank you to Josh for breakfast number one. Number two, cool info that we have now. I'm very appreciative of that. You know, when I was doing the search on all this stuff, I kept seeing that RE3 Live and I was like, I don't know what that is. And it was on the LinkedIn and I was like, well, maybe he'll say something about that because that was like the number one thing that Googled under your name.
Yes.
When I put in Josh Waggoner, DR Horton, that was the first thing that came up. So,
I love it.
yes, I'm very happy about all of that. Y'all get it all?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna move on, for everybody here. I want to be efficient with your time, like I always say. Drink this coffee so I can talk better.
Yes.
You know how I am. Okay. Next week, we're gonna have the Baker firm come in with Maddie Walsh. And so they'll be here for breakfast with us at 9:45. Jamie has joined us this morning. If you didn't notice, he's sitting back over here. Jamie, would you come in here in front of the camera so people can see you? Because we've got a lot of people online.
You can have a seat.
And Jamie's got some things that we're gonna start doing, and he's got some announcements he needs to make. So I'm gonna turn the floor over to Jamie and let him do his thing. The camera's in the corner.
Back there.
In the corner.
Hey.
So a couple things. One is I am shifting a lot of my time back over to homes storytelling. We have shrunk storytelling, got really big, became a lot, and then I have recently shrunk it down intentionally. Fired some clients. It's a long story there. But we're still doing it. I'm still doing some big picture strategy stuff, but I was like, I feel like I'm mixing being involved in homes. And so over the next couple months, I'm coming back in and helping with homes marketing.
Coming home. so to
I'm
speak.
coming home, so to speak. So you'll see me more. I plan on being at these meetings. I plan on like pictures of things at these meetings. And then, but one of the things I want to do, I don't know if y'all seen, we've been like trying to share some of the listings on the listings channel. I have a new guy who's helping us do some of that. So put a listing there, we'll share it, create graphics. But we also have a social media channel that I didn't even know it existed. I wasn't even on it. But I am on it. And so I would love content for stories. So if you are at a house, if you're at a showing, if you're at a really cool island, and want to just throw or like just sold this house or here's a new listing, put stuff on there. We would use it, love to use it for stories. My caveat is anything that's like human is way better than like, super polished flyer type of thing.
Right.
So it's like, hey, it's Danielle. I'm here doing a tour for some buyers and this kitchen. I just had to show it off. Like that stuff is gold. Where it's like it's your personality, organic. So like organic stuff is what I want.
We don't want our, just listed.
Yeah, it goes on the put listings, open houses, here's the page.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
actually referring to like just a,
If
like,
it's-
just listed graphic.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I didn't put this on the listing one. But
Yeah.
what I would love is, hey, I'm out in front of putting a sign in the yard today on the house I'm just listed. And then throw your like Instagram handle on there, and we'll like that stuff. I would love to reshare. Putting the sign up, just listen to this, like where it's human talking, is great. I just feel like we have not done a good job doing
Humanizing.
Yeah, of humanizing and capturing content, and then like there's a construction Slack channel, and they post like pictures all the time, so we're pretty good about sharing those on stories. So
I think the dumbest things I've done get the most engagement.
So,
yeah.
Like last year when we had that concrete bit, we were trying to get that silent, the ground and Hazel,
Mhm.
like it went wild. It was so stupid.
so anyways, that channel's there. Use it. I remind everybody next week.
Social media channel.
Yeah, and so it might not be like the same day, it might be like the next day. But yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you want it, so is it better to upload it to Slack or to tag, like if we're posting on our stories, tag to Slack, do
Either way.
both or?
Either way. I mean, I think if you want it just for this,
Yeah.
if you want to post it on yours and tag,
Okay.
that's great.
So if we post something on our business page, like if I go in quickly, do a reel as I'm doing an open house.
Yeah.
And I post it and I tag Six
Mhm.
Ave, then you're gonna repost that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. So this Slack channel exists. I think everybody's on it. But anybody's used it in like
Yeah.
It's been
been
in
missed.
10
3 months.
months.
Yes, 3 months at least, because there's nothing there.
You can't even see anything on it. So that's awesome. I'm excited to
That's awesome.
Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you. Okay, so moving on, the new business card templates are on Canva. So you can go see the new business card templates, and we updated them, and I think I've already uploaded those to Canva as well, the ones that Hannah did. And I've got those on our business card site so that new hire people that are coming on can see those. Reminder about your IABS. If you don't have your information about brokerage services updated with the latest version of 21025, that was mandatory on April the 1st. You need to get that up on your socials and on your email signature. We have partnered this week with a company called Docent Technologies or Docent Training out of California. This is an 18-hour training course for basic agents, new people. It goes through everything. I skimmed through almost everything in there over the last 2 weeks. Like I said, it's 18 hours of video training, and then there's some documentation that goes along with it. Most of it was filmed before the NAR settlement, so there's some things in there that aren't true anymore, but then there's a disclaimer down at the bottom that you can read through. Everyone is invited to go and use this training. You're welcome to walk through it. I'm probably going to be asking a couple of you to go and be an expert on these 3 classes. Like Clarissa, I may say, hey, can you go look at 4, 5, and 6 and be an expert on that? So that when a brand new agent comes in and they have questions, then you can answer those questions about 4, 5, and 6. Tasha, I might tell you, you're going to do, number 7.
Yeah.
Because that's all you can handle.
Well, it's a long chapter.
So the QR code is there that will take you to our portal, which has the Docent training and 6 Ave logo. There are 3 different classes that we are paying for brand new agents. This is really designed. Here's our dilemma. 100 Days to Greatness is a fantastic class. I just can't run it all the time. And if I start a class and then we get a brand new agent, well, then she's behind or he's behind. And we can't do that. So this is going to be a permanent solution for a new agent to go get started here. Go here and you're on your own. It's self-confidence.
Can I have a question? So if they do this 18 hours of training, is there like a certificate of completion? Like,
I didn't see one. This is just, it's a lady that stands in front of the camera and she's a broker and she's done multiple brokerages and she tells everything about
Right.
what you need to be thinking about. And it's
Right.
very, very informal. It's not Brian Buffini and the big published, polished show. It's a lady in front of the camera in California.
yeah, I was just saying, because that's, that's been a thing in the past where, obviously people get their real estate license, they want to run with it. And they want people to mentor, and that's the trouble we've always ran into. It's like, you don't want to engage in all of this until 11 o'clock on night. You want me to solve all your problems.
Mhm.
And so I think this is an excellent tool. So just maybe some sort of system where we can get them to complete it.
Well, and that's going to be up to them.
Right.
It's going to be just like everything in this business. This is how bad do you want to be a realtor?
Yeah.
We all have that same mindset. How bad do you want to do this job? If somebody wants to come in and they just got, like Amanda, this is going to be perfect for Amanda Castro. She just got her license. This is going to be great. If you are a part-time agent and you don't do this all the time, go watch these videos. There's so many tips and hints and things that you can get out of this. I mean, I was taking notes. I've been doing this 20 years. So not that I don't know those things, but I've forgotten some of those initial things that you need to think about. So I highly recommend this. Okay, so tax appraisals are coming out. The estimate appraisals are coming out this week for all the counties. Gil Vinson and company is still offering the discount with the code 6th Ave is our discount code. This will be in the follow-up today, but any of your homeowners can go to gilvinson.com, put in the 6th Ave. They will fight the appraisal for your clients. And I did this last year on my house and didn't get anything, but they automatically redid it for me again this year. They automatically protested on my behalf already. So even though the appraisal's not out, it's automated. If you're hearing the commercials, there's something on, there's a new company, Onward,
Yeah.
something, Onward, Own Well, that's it. And they're doing, it's basically the same thing, but we get a discount here.
Okay, it says the deadline sign up review. I'm sorry, I'm blind.
May
It's
May 1st, 20, this is last year's flyer.
it's still a five-
This is still the same thing, because I emailed the owner and he said, yes, we're honoring that discount.
Okay.
So
So if we
it's,
use this flyer, we can say, don't worry about the 2024. It's
don't worry about
valid.
that number, it's the
Okay,
same.
it's still valid.
Yeah, it's still valid.
Okay.
But it's, the code is 6th Ave and you only pay 25% of the actual tax savings. So if they save you $1,000, you pay $250.
I'm just, what? I didn't know we were paying people. Y'all don't do it yourself.
I think
I pay people every time.
Most
Really?
people,
I've done it for clients before.
I do it for
I've done it,
clients
but,
too,
yeah.
but I mean, even just like for myself and for like Christmas,
I use
I
it,
almost
but
think it's a conflict of interest.
to provide comps to people
Well,
on their home.
I think
there's
what they do
two
is a
theories. I
lot.
was gonna say there's kind of some different thoughts here on us being involved in protesting taxes.
These companies, like, I don't use them. My neighbor works for Pico.
Mhm.
So he does my whole neighborhood for free because
Yeah.
it's in his best interest.
Yeah.
So they do far more than just running comps. I mean, they're literally like,
I
these
guess
companies
what I-
literally go in with hundreds of them at a time. And like,
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't know that. Like, I didn't know
Yeah.
that you needed to do something like that.
I would on anything, and because I've done it where I'm trying to DIY it and like, but like they'll go to the hearing and like schedule the hearing and they'll also submit, like you said. the
I've just
policies.
never even gotten that far. Like, I've always just submitted my protest. and it's been approved.
usually there's the online, in Tarrant County, the online
Yeah.
protest, and it's like an automated thing that you just click through. I did that for several years and then I used them last year and let somebody else do it. Let a professional do it. Patty Smith, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I've been doing mine through Payco for a few years. They offered the same discount to clients that I close and work with. So I offer that as a service, very similar, the same 25%. It's sort of, I can co-brand it with them. So I have several clients that do it. But just to Clarissa's point, they do so many in a bulk way that they have far more success than what we can have trying to like pin it down. And then I also feel like, you know, that's not our primary job, right? I'm not a property tax advisor or fighter or appraiser. And so you do the best you can. So I feel like giving this service to my clients or to our clients to say, this is the best place to go to get the information and to get the best discount is just an added benefit of what we do as a resource, not as an expert in all fields.
But also providing comps to your clients is totally cool.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, interesting side note in the commercial world, it's pretty normal to do this, and then they also sue the appraisal district. Like it's very
yeah.
like industry standard to like you fight it and you still don't get it low enough, then you sue. So I have a friend who's a tax attorney, and that's really all he does. He does like 1,000.
Well, I
commercial
just
cases.
feel like on the other side, I don't know what these companies do, obviously, but like Chris's house is a new build in the north side, like, and they of course tried to railroad him on his appraisal last year. And so I just went in and looked at it. Well, one of the comps that they had used, somebody fat fingered the closing price, and it was a $311,000 house, and they put like 511 or something insane. And so just like, I just sent them an email and was like, hey, I called both of these agents. This closing price was not correct. It needs to be updated. And they were like, oh, okay, great. And I think they took $75,000 off of his appraisal value just because of that. And so it's like, I don't know. I mean,
Well, there's a lot of incorrect reporting.
yeah, a lot. I mean, I think I found 2 last
And
year. when I
that,
was doing
that
this.
could obviously be an attachment to this, like next year going forward, the clients to be like, make sure you're getting the right square footage.
Yeah.
And things like that. That
Yeah,
discrepancy-
check what they're putting on
Yeah,
your
because that
forms because it's
discrepancy can be huge.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go through the rest of the stuff because I've got several things to do. We've got about 20 minutes left here. I don't want to go too much over the 11 o'clock. So we're going to hit 2 core values today. The first one is we never bring a problem without bringing and trying at least one possible solutions. We are problem solvers, not problem identifiers. We encourage critical thinking and a proactive approach to handling issues. While asking for help is encouraged, it must be done in the context of also thinking of solutions on your own. Before we bring an issue or a problem to a team member, we first think of ways to solve it. We believe faith and family should come first and our precious gifts to be savored. We will always create margin for both. We want to serve our clients. We also want to serve our families well. We encourage margin and time off for our team members and want them to have a healthy work-life balance. Our hope is to see our team thrive personally. I have personally failed at these 2 core values in the last month. I have not been serving you the right way by allowing some things to occur that shouldn't have occurred. Friday night, Missy was trying to decide whether to divorce me or to rush me to the emergency room because I almost had a heart attack. The reason being, I was taking everybody in this brokerage's problems on my shoulders, and I was internalizing all of them. I love you guys tremendously. You all know that. From now on, if you text me or call me after like 6 o'clock, you're going to get, is it on Slack? And I don't mean it rude. It just needs to be on Slack after hours. I just can't do it all for everyone. There's 50 of us. And I want to be your superhero. I want to wear the big Superman shirt. I just don't have it in me. And I'm sorry. It's my fault. But this became a problem over the weekend. And Missy and I literally were trying to decide whether to go to the emergency room or to divorce court.
It seems like a normal marriage to me. I feel like I'm like, we're
So-
on the same page.
So please, I just would ask, please put it on Slack. That gives everyone the ability. We have so many people that want to help other people, that will answer the phone, that will talk you off a ledge, that will talk you through a problem. I just can't be the only one that does that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm usually pretty happy to answer people in the evenings. I mean, like Maria called me the other day about the short sell buyer, and she was all flustered. I was like, literally, I was like, there's not a problem here. She was like, you don't think so? I was like, no, not at all. So, and I know we all talk amongst.
I'm gonna say I had that conversation with
Yeah.
you last week. I'm like, I'm still not understanding the problem.
Yeah. So
What am I missing?
I don't mind answering the phone in the evenings. I mean, if I'm not busy, I'm happy to talk.
But
to
I think that if we all put a problem on Slack, it doesn't have to be a full explanation. Hey, can somebody talk me through this? Megan did a fantastic, Megan Chow yesterday, granted it was on the general channel instead of Guy's channel, but she put something up there. Does anybody have experience with probate? So I went and texted her privately and said, I have some experience with probate. What do you need to know? Because that's the proper way to do it. It's a great question of put it on Slack. Here's the general theme. Can somebody talk me through this? And if I'm available, I promise, and if it deals with me, I will jump in. I'm just not a super broker. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know everything. And I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm calling JC and bugging the crap out of him, especially if it's Taj.
Well,
Well,
JC and
made
I are
my
friends, so we're good. We're good. Me and JC, we've had.
So
we're
please understand that if you text me or if you call me, I may respond with, is your problem on Slack? And I don't mean that rudely. It's done with love. And I actually may end up putting the red hearts around it to say, is it on Slack? I love you, but I need it on Slack because Taja may have experience with your problem.
Hey,
Clarissa,
mine is just when attorneys start to get
I
winged off
understand.
like they did last week. I'm like, this is above my pay grade.
I understand. And that's something that maybe Clarissa has experience with or Jana has experience with. And she can speak into that.
Actually, I'm going to tell you, Danielle was the one that was like, call your attorney right now and tell him to stay in his wheelhouse. He practices law, you practice real estate.
Well, good.
And I did. And he was
And
like,
he was like, oh, you're probably right, right?
and he was, and I got the sweetest text message.
Mhm.
I mean, that was a good thing for me to be an attorney, to be like, he texted me late Friday night and he was like, Lee and I are so appreciative of you. We couldn't have anybody else represent us better than you. And you're like, I am winning.
Good.
But like I told you Friday night, I'm like, sometimes I just need you to be like, you're a big girl.
Right. But that's what Slack is for. I can't be that guy for everyone all the time.
Right.
I want to be everyone's superhero. I just can't do it. Physically, it hurts me because I take all of your stress and I put it right here.
I get that.
So please bear with me as I learn to use these 2 core values, and I ask that you do the same. This one being the main one. We never bring a problem without at least some type of solution. That's the thing that we need to do is be problem solvers. Okay, thank you for that. Hit the national market update. Mortgage Bankers Association reported purchase mortgage applications rocketed 10% over the prior week, coming in 24% higher than a year ago. Strongest pace in 15 months. Spring home buying has sprung. MBA also revealed its mortgage credit availability index increased in March to the highest level in more than 2 years. They say increases in the MCAI are indicative of loosening credit. The data from Intercontinental Exchange found home price growth slowing in 90% of U.S. markets, cooling to 2.7% in February, dipping to 2.2% in March as inventory levels rose to 27% above last year. Roller coaster up. The 90-day suspension of reciprocal tariffs sent stocks to historic gains Wednesday. This was the last week. Sharp losses Thursday. Rebound. Blah 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 blah. The University of Michigan consumer sentiment at its lowest level since 22. Things we're seeing is we're going to see the tariffs start to hit the building materials and all of our building stuff as in the next couple of months. I'm sure D.R. Horton, being as big as they are, bought in advance. They've got several months of supplies that they can run through, but their costs are going to start going up. There's no way around it. Annual CPI inflation dropped from 2.8 to 2.4, with even with higher tariffs already in place. Steel, aluminum imports from China. Luckily, I drink whiskey from Kentucky, so don't care, right? Low initial jobless claims showed a solid labor market and an expanding economy. The trend was down a little bit week over week on the Freddie Mac primary mortgage market survey, but I always have those numbers, so we'll look at those in just a second. Home building, mortgage applications and retail sales. Analysts expect housing starts to slow a tropical in March. New building permits to hold at their prior pace. We checked the MBA index to hopefully see buyer activity staying on its spring climb. The forecast is for retail sales to gain in March. Aside, consumer spending continues to grow the economy.
What is slow a trifle?
I'm sorry,
Slow a trifle. Trifle me like a little bit.
a little bit.
Okay.
Just a trifle, just a little bit.
It's not a trouble.
The Federal Reserve watch. So last week, there was a 90% of the people thought there would be a rate drop in June. This week, that number is now down to 78%. Why? Tariffs. Tariffs have changed how this is going to act because 90 days from now, when the tariffs, like when they go into full effect, that's the middle of June. So that's why that's happening. Here's your rate watch for this week versus last week. Even though the wording said it went down a little bit, they did for a couple of days, but now they're back up. So now we're back up. This is 4 weeks ago, 6.81 on the 30-year fixed, 6.28 on the FHA. It dropped a little bit last week, and now it's back up to 6.37 FHA and 6.88 on the conventional. If you go look at the historical charts, 6% to 7% is completely wrong. It's not a big deal. Or you go see Joe Horton and get 3.9.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
I mean, simple math.
Yeah.
Very simple math. Okay, business tip. Stay fresh. Regularly ask yourself why you do what you do, what sets you apart from the competition, and what values guide you. The answers are key to crafting authentic messages that resonate with your audience but can evolve over time. Zillow says listings with 250 daily views, 10 daily shares, or 5 daily saves typically move to pending status in a week. That's something that they're looking at on Zillow because they're trying to sell us data. Remember that. The only way that Zillow makes money is if they sell us data. Listings with 500 plus daily views, 20 shares, 10 daily saves often sold for more than list price. So they're watching how on their site, the number of showings, the number of saves that they get, and then they're watching for that end number. If that house is really busy and you're getting 500 daily views, that house is typically selling for more than list price.
Have you seen on Zillow where they're now giving like buyer offer stats to buyers? So it's like if you make an offer between this price and this price, you have this percentage of likelihood of it getting accepted. But if you make an offer of this price,
I've seen that.
one of my clients sent it to me on her house. She's like, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "Nope, not until right now." And she's like, "It's just kind of weird." And I was like,
I mean, they would
I agree.
probably know.
Yeah.
so I didn't know if anybody else had seen that, but I have a client that sent it to me.
Interesting. So with our last 10 minutes, I was asking you guys before the meeting started, you had thoughts about what are you seeing in your market? I want to spend 10 minutes just roundtable talking about what are we seeing? I'm hearing some people say multiple offer situations. I'm hearing buyers may be a little hesitant, sellers a little hesitant. What are your daily motivators and what are your daily habits? Those are all topics, easy topics of discussion. What are you seeing in your market?
Well, just something that has stuck out to Holly and I think working through the files that I have going on right now is sloppy mistakes. And by agents, even we've made some sloppy mistakes and not, I think we're so eager to hold transactions together that we're skipping important steps to the business that may make things fall apart.
Okay.
Like people like throwing pre-qual letters out and being like, oh, things like that, or, just like, oh, do financing days matter, things like that, and getting, and having that open communication with lenders to be like, do we have conditional approval, things like that, because everybody knows money is a lot tighter for most people in the world today. It's a lot finer line if those transactions are going to work and a little more tedious, and so that's one thing that I've really been trying to stay up on transactions is just really crossing the T's and dotting the I's, because everything is a little, used to you could throw a contract out there and it's like, it's gonna close, we're gonna work. But after the year we had last year with things falling apart at the end and things like that, I really feel like being methodical and getting those things on the calendar and really communicating with title and all of those. I mean, we bought a lot in Granbury and had a roof and all these things that have been very tedious. And so I think just really trying to slow those transactions down and having great communication leads to a lot of, it keeps emotions low.
Good. Okay. Anyone else care to speak in? Online, you're welcome to speak in as well.
I just feel like the market's woken up, so to speak. Like, I don't know a better way to say that. But like for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've had 2 listings go on the market every week. I've gotten deals under contract. Like, I've got between April and May, I'll do basically what I did all of last year. I had a horrible year last year, but like it just has popped for me for some reason. And I've had a lot of consistent showings on all of my listings. But it's interesting because, and we've seen this, I think, over the last several months where buyers are being very particular about what they want because they have so much choice right now. And so it's just really important to be watching the feedback, watching those showing trends and seeing kind of, just adjusting from there, but then also like not being so desperate to accept the first offer that comes through, or so desperate to sell the house because what if it doesn't sell? Like, it's going to sell. And so, yeah, I think just being patient, but also, I mean, it's kind of what you're saying, but like, just take a deep breath with everything, because at the end of the day, like, houses are going to sell and buyers are going to buy, and our job is to facilitate that, not force it.
Well, and I guess just to spin off of what you're saying is what I'm saying is agents being methodical and being calm, because there's a lot of things that we could rip contracts apart, a date, a time, across, an error, a clerical error. And it's our job to know that the motivation between the buyer and the seller is just to see the baby. And, it's like, okay, option, there's many, many ways to get out of those contracts, but you really have to work through it with that agent and have the good intent. These people really aren't hung up on the details of the contract. We have to be hung up on the details, and let's not make the details of the contract a confrontation between the buyer and the seller.
And don't send termination letters with your amendment.
Yeah, that's really important.
Right now, I have one there. I'm working really hard with the listing agent to come up with, the perfect comps to contest an appraisal right now that came in super low. And it's funny because we got some insight that it's in Wiley, but another property was just about $30,000 under appraised value as well. That's exactly what ours was. And it's 2 different appraisers, but they're from the grapevines that appraisers are coming in lower on purpose almost in that area. And these are FHA, albeit, but still.
Well, and you do know, like in the state of Texas, like the appraisers are getting heat big time right now. And how they do practice, and they're like, one of my my best friend, my childhood friend, is an appraiser, and he is like TAR. They are like cracking down on the way that they count concessions and everything. So that is taking a pivot, and so I think that's probably why we're seeing appraisals be a little bit.
I had one come in low a couple weeks ago. I mean, not that low,
right?
But Brian and I actually are set to meet after this just to kind of talk about that, because I know the way we all do our comps and our value is different.
Would love to sit in on that.
I mean, that's up to Brian. I don't care. But I think there's a huge conversation in that, because, like, for example, my listing in East Fort Worth, it was a condo in East Fort Worth. And so it's like there's 3 comps, and the appraiser looked at the sold price. So comparative sales analysis, which is just the sold prices. Our condo is in a better area, bigger and nicer, but because everything else hadn't sold for over $250, he priced it at $250. Right. And I'm like, I get it. That is an analysis, but here's mine, and I can also prove it. And he was like, yeah, no, that's not how we're doing it today. And I was like, okay, great.
Well, yeah, no, but to that point, just working with the other, parties, representative and put our heads together, no hostility, just trying to do what, get it to at least as close as possible to appraise our
Totally.
clients and make.
Totally. Yeah, make it a win for everybody.
Yeah.
Especially on an.
I want to speak into that slightly. So Brian Wright and I had a conversation through email yesterday. He went to a conference this weekend, apparently in Austin. There are new appraisal rules coming into being later this summer. Brian is going to do a class for us this fall, probably the first week of September. As soon as the new forms come out and they start with the new criteria that they're going to be using, Brian has agreed to do a 1-hour class to update us on what those changes are and how they will affect us. So I just want y'all to know that that's in the works. Brian and I are working on it. We'll keep you updated on that as it comes available, because they won't know until, like, I think he said late July, what the new forms are going to look like or anything. So.
And it is, it's just so, every appraiser is different. And that's the hard part too. It's like, just like each of us is different, every appraiser is different. And so, in an FHA and VA scenario, those appraisals stay with property. So it's like you almost have to make it work or hold out for a conventional buyer. Which again, like, I'm glad that y'all are
Yeah, we got
working
folks supporting it.
together.
It's just,
Totally.
once you see how
Yeah.
the appraiser takes it,
Right.
right? And luckily it's the limit that reaches out to them.
Yeah.
But still.
I mean, and I'd call too if you can, like, if you're confident enough. I
I've
do it
done
all
it
the
before
time.
and they
Yeah.
don't like to hear from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've done it a bunch. I will say, our Santa Fe project I'm doing, I had shooting for like a $2 million appraisal. It came in at like 1.4. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge gap, but he also he had bedrooms wrong. He had also I was also kind of, generally when I have an appraiser, I will, before I let him add the property, I say, hey, here's the comps that I
Right.
use
Mhm.
to come up with the
Yep.
price. Here's what we're. And with the first one, I was kind of lazy. I didn't do a good job of that, but called the guy and he was just not having it. So I went to the lender. I was like, hey, I'll pay for a new appraiser.
Mhm.
This guy isn't going to come up.
Yeah.
And that's another $500,000.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but if it's giving you
Yeah.
another.
second appraisal came back at 2.3.
Heck yeah.
So we're talking like $1 million
Yeah.
swing.
Difference. Yeah.
Worth
But
$1,000.
You're totally worth it. That was the first time I ever was like, screw it, I'm just gonna
Yeah. Do it.
pay for a new one.
Yeah.
And I took way more time on the second one to here's the comps, here's what we did, make sure you have it
Right.
and it was just, not saying it's what you have, it's like $400 for it.
Do we have a template for contesting appraisals?
No, it comes from the
Comes from
lender.
the lender. It has
You
to- The
don't-
ROD is.
And they're
Let me look.
good about contesting it.
I mean, I contested left and
Yeah.
right. I
You
mean,
can and just-
I didn't win on my last one, but I've
You would just send comparables that you feel are better
Yeah.
comps than the ones that we
and
use.
you explain.
Right, but I used to kind of like what you prepare for the tide water. You know what I'm talking about, for VA? I have a little process I follow, to contest them, with upgrades and, all that, a little template that I follow, so it's easy to plug it into.
There's things that we can do for you, and that kind of stuff, just reach out through email and say, hey, this is my situation. Can you assist me with this, or can we talk through this? Danielle reached out through Slack, I think, or text and said, hey, I'd like to talk through something with you sometime. When would be good? Perfect way for us to do that. Then I can go and say, hey, let's do it Wednesday. So.
Brian has been a huge help to me multiple times.
Mhm.
Just, sending him a quick text or a DM and being like, hey, I've got a question, when you have some time about this appraisal, do you think you can? And he has always responded immediately and looks at it. And
You're talking about Brown, right?
Mhm. Yeah, he's been a huge help for appraisal
He,
stuff for me.
he knows the
He's a big asset.
inside.
Huge.
Yeah.
He's a very big asset that we have an actual appraiser with a license that is an agent here.
Well, and just the terminology that he, says and how to, I don't know, it's great. I
That's
love it.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, it is 11 o'clock at this point. I'm going to stop our video right now. If y'all want to stick around and talk more online, you're of course welcome to do so. We can leave the video going, but I am going to stop the recording so we don't make it too long for YouTube. I'll get everything into the brokerage announcements channel this afternoon with a follow-up, and then I'll give you links to the things that we talked about, Gil Dimson and the new agent training. Those links will be in my follow-up today. Thank you, Josh, for breakfast. Thank you for coming. VR Horton for coming today. And that's it for now. If you want to sign off, we're gone. Bye, y'all. Patty, you can go ahead and jump in if you want to. I'm just gonna stop the video. Hang on just a second.
I actually